Henry Sutton isn't a name that springs immediately to mind if we compile the list of the world's great inventors. And yet, he was a man with an incredibly inventive mind who, despite being born in a tent on the goldfields of central Victoria in Australia in the mid-19th century, would go on to create countless remarkable inventions, many of which we take for granted today. Henry was a Renaissance man, a polymath, born into incredible times in the middle of one of the world's largest gold rushes, and yet for all he created, he remains largely unknown today. With your help, a book about his life, and more importantly his work, could be published very soon. At around 10 years of age, his study of insects and birds and the theory of flight led him to build an ornithopter, whose design and findings were eventually included in the annual publications of Britain's Aeronautical Society in 1878. A virtuoso craftsman of his day, his curiosity led him to an astonishingly prolific investigation of the world around him, and soon Henry went on to discover the magic of electricity and invented a dynamo which could be used as an electric motor. Despite the tyranny of distance and isolation, he went on to devise more than 20 different variants of the telephone, shortly after Alexander Graham Bell in America had received the patent for the device. Sutton's version is believed to have been the first to have the hand and the earpiece in the one unit, and evidence suggests he originated the idea of networking telephones via an exchange. Alexander Graham Bell, on his tour of Australia, visited Henry in Ballarat, which should indicate to the world the importance of his contribution to the development of the telephone system. Without any knowledge of Thomas Edison's work on the carbon filament lamp, Henry was also busy inventing a way to produce light using electricity. Remarkably, the Victorian government astronomer R.L.J. Ellery recorded that Henry had invented the light globe at the same time as Edison, but due to Henry's isolation from the rest of the world, missed out on the recognition he deserved. He also developed a way to produce a vacuum using mercury to suck the air out of a small glass chamber, the details of which were published in the English Mechanic and World of Science. The Swan Edison Company in England went on to use this process in the manufacture of light bulbs. Incredibly, he invented a portable radio transmitter, a way to transmit images using electrical signals similar to a fax, and devised and successfully tested the feasibility for television systems in 1885, 3 years before the credited inventor of television was even born. Henry's interests also led him to experiment with the storage of electricity using lead-acid batteries, the same type that is in use today in most motor vehicles. He was a founding member of the RACV, Victoria's preeminent automobile club, after inventing a number of motorised cars and motorbikes. It's fair to say that Henry was prolific with ideas and inventions, and yet for some strange reason, his tireless efforts are largely unknown today. Henry Sutton was Australia's answer to Leonardo da Vinci, possessing skills as an electrician, photographer, chemist, physicist, engineer, biologist and geologist, and yet no one thought to write his magnum opus, not even he. The gravitas of his work has largely been ignored until now. With your help, we can publish this long overdue book that finally brings to light the complete story about Henry Sutton, Australia's greatest inventor.
Please help me publish my book on Henry Sutton. It is the first complete book on his life and is a very important book. Your help to ensure that this book gets published would be very greatly appreciated. Thank you.